Oh, hey everybody. Welcome back to Art at Home with Mrs. Young. I was just reading my favorite robot book, RoboSauce. If you haven't read this one, be sure to check it out. It's got an amazing ending. Speaking of which... What? Who are you?
My name is Roxy Robot. I think we should do a robot art activity.
Okay. Well, apparently Roxy Robot wants us to do a robot art activity. So I was just thinking,
I have the greatest idea. What if we made our own toy robots?
toy robot? Would you want a toy robot? I wonder what a toy robot would look like if I created one. Maybe that's what we'll do today. Today, we are going to create our own toy robot, including an owner's manual if you want to put one in. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to get is a messy mat or a piece of paper, newsprint, something to put under you so you don't make a mess. You will need a pencil. You will need some small scraps of cardboard. I just used a piece of a Diet Coke box, a cereal box would work, and the other is an Amazon box. You will need some scissors. If you need help from an adult using those scissors, please get that help. You will need some liquid glue. Glue sticks won't work well for this project. I'm going to be using a glue gun today, but please don't use a hot glue gun without the help of an adult at home. You will need a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and you'll need to make sure that you're just using small scraps. Your scraps of cardboard should fit right on top of or inside of that bag. You want to be able to put your completed toy inside that bag if you would like to package it. Also, if you want to get some paints and Sharpies to decorate, that's optional, but it always adds. Crayons will work, colored pencils will work as well. Anything you have at home, or you don't have to decorate your toy robot at all. Some other things I recommend, the printouts that I included. The robot planning sheet is a great place to start, and the Let's Draw Robots idea sheet will give you lots of great ideas. The bag topper can be printed, folded in half, and stapled to the top of your bag. We'll go over that. And then the toy robot instruction manual, you can print these, and then it's a full piece of paper. You fold it in half, and then in half again. And then there's two different levels depending on where you're at, writing-wise, if you need bigger lines. And then you just basically create an owner's or instruction guide for whoever is purchasing your toy robot. And again, it's just a piece of paper folded. You don't have to add those things, but it helps. Also, a stapler. If you are going to add those to your bag, you're going to need a stapler. Okay, so I think it's a really great idea to have the robot idea sheet in front of you just to give you some ideas. Notice the basic shapes that she used. The toy robot planning sheet is a great tool to get your ideas down. I used mine the entire time I created. I made a simple design with basic shapes, and I labeled each part just to give myself kind of an idea of where I was going with my robot. The Sharpies are optional, as name mine Spick and Span 2020 because the function of this robot is to be able to clean rooms in no time. So you can put as many designs on your robot as you wish. Just know that when you're cutting out of cardboard, it can be tough. And so the simpler the body shape and the arms and the legs, or in my case, the wheel, the better. So I did a simple circle wheel. I did kind of a elongated rectangular body and head with some little knobs on the side and that light bulb on the top. I may use that thinner cardboard like I said, for the arms and for some of the smaller details. I also will probably draw them on with Sharpie. All right, so when you're ready to get started, get the cardboard that you need. I got basically Amazon boxes and Diet Coke box, and I'm gonna use the thinner cardboard because it's easier to cut for some of those more detailed pieces, and the thicker cardboard for the basic body shape. So those body shapes go on the thick cardboard and the details go on the thinner. You can use all of one type or use both. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep my planning sheet next to me the entire time, and I'm going to keep referring back to it. And I'm going to actually draw out my pieces before I cut. So I'm going to plan it all out, draw it all out, and then I'm ready to start cutting. As you're drawing, I want you to think about the size of each part of your robot. I'm going to draw my body parts fairly large on my cardboard so that they really fill up the space. If you make them too small, they are going to be hard to cut out and lose detail. Also, a trick, if you want both of your arms or legs to be the same, cut one out, trace it, and then use that as your guide to cut out the second one. Much, much easier. Now that I have all the pieces cut out, I'm just going to kind of quickly organize them so that I have everything ready to glue. Okay, once your glue is dry, and that may take several hours if you are using liquid glue, you're gonna go back and look at that idea sheet again and look at all of those details. Now, if you don't have paints, that is totally fine. You can use a pencil and you can draw on the details. If you have Sharpie markers or even the Crayola markers, you can use that. Even crayons look great on cardboard. Or you can use colored pencils. Whatever you have, or nothing, you can totally leave it just like it is and it will be awesome. What I am going to do is go ahead and paint mine all one color. I happen to have a really nice silver, and so I am just going to paint the entire thing silver. I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna add my details with a Sharpie. I'm gonna check the sides, make sure everything's painted, and now I am just going to let this completely dry. I'm gonna give it a couple hours. If you're in a hurry, you can also always use a blow dryer, but again, with parent supervision, please. So at this point, you could keep adding paints. You could glue on some embellishments like buttons or beads or anything that you find laying around the house. I'm going to use permanent Sharpie markers on mine. You can't use the Crayola water-based on this, it just won't stick. So I am just gonna go ahead and look back to my planning sheet. That's why this planning sheet is so important. And I am just gonna start adding details. Okay, the last step, I said that I was going to bend these arms to make them the retractable arms. So I am going to carefully just do an accordion fold. And notice I'm only decorating the front of this robot. You could do a double-sided, but just to keep it easy. And there we go. Our robot is complete. Once your robot is complete, you can stop right there, and this can just be your toy robot. However, if you want to get a little bit more fancy, I had said at the beginning to get a Ziploc bag. See how I made it so that the robot fits right in that Ziploc bag? That's kind of like the packaging. Another fun thing you can do is create an instruction manual for your robot. I have two different kinds of instructional manuals. This one has larger spaces. I chose to do this one, so it's engineered by me, and this is the Spick and Span 2020. Now notice this was just the piece of paper that I folded in half and then folded in half again. You can see my diagram, and it has all of the different things. Now my colors are a little different, and that's okay. And I actually just realized that I forgot to do the light bulb. Okay, so then how to operate. Turn on the robot, program her for a specific cleaning job using the control panels. Give her a few kind words to get her started. She has a heart for kindness. Get out of the way and let her clean up your messes. My toy robot is designed to clean up all of my messes, which would be great for a playroom. And then a toy usually has a warning. You can make your warning as silly as you want it to be, but my warning says not to be used by children under age 5. Spick and Span 2020 has been known to cause young children to go wild. Now, if I were going to package this toy, now, and I wish I could have found Ziploc bags without the little white part, but I could not. So, just like in a store, the instruction manual goes in. The toy robot carefully goes in. Actually, I'm going to switch that around. I'm going to seal it up, get the air bubbles out. And then you can be done with that, or I included a little bag topper. Now I had to cut mine to get it to fit, and what I'm going to do is fold it in half and make sure that's nice and even. Mine's not exactly even on both sides, but I'm okay with that. All right, then this slips over this. Give it a staple. And voila, you are done. Well, that was fun. I hope you had fun today making your toy robot with me. Even if you didn't do all of the steps, I cannot wait to see what you created.
You kids did an amazing job. Your toy robots are out of this world.